Okay, so now we learned about the greenhouse gases, why that's a good thing in general. Now we're going to learn about the enhanced greenhouse effect and why people are worried about this. So we've been hearing about that over the last 20, 50 years, depending on what you're looking at, that there have been an increased amount of greenhouse gases in the air. And people are worried about this, not just because they're there, but because the rate of increase is unprecedented. We've never had such a fast increase of greenhouse gases in the air ever in recorded history, basically. So let's think about that. Enhanced greenhouse effect is from more greenhouse gases being in the air. So what will that mean for the temperature of the Earth? So let's take CO2. So we know CO2 levels are rising in the atmosphere. So what we're going to do is draw in some more CO2 molecules here. So it's pretty easy to see here that what's going to happen. You have more CO2, you're going to have more greenhouse effect. So that means that this energy that's being released from the Earth, there's more CO2 available, so you're going to have more absorption and then more reflection out to space, but also down to the Earth. So if we keep drawing that, more energy going out, but more energy coming down. So again, more energy going into the CO2, more going out to space, more coming down. And then let's draw it here as well. So what does this mean? When you have more CO2 in the atmosphere, you're going to have more energy being absorbed into the layer, the greenhouse layer, more energy going, and then more energy being reflected back down to Earth. So what does that mean? So obviously the temperature is going to keep rising when you have more and more energy being reflected back down to Earth. So that's why people are really worried about the enhanced greenhouse effect, is that when you have even more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, you're going to have even more of a temperature rise. So remember, the greenhouse effect is not a bad thing, and we need that to survive on Earth, but the enhanced greenhouse effect due to humans releasing more greenhouse gases is not good. The other reason why people are worried is because the question, well, how long, once we as humans release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, how long are they going to stick around for? And we measure this by looking at half-life. Half-life means during how many years will it take for 50% or half of that gas to be removed from the atmosphere. So for example, CO2 has a half-life of 100 to 200 years. So once you have carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, it's going to take 100 years for 50% of that to be dissipated. For methane, it's about a decade on that kind of scale, and for water vapor, it's very short, like days to months. So this is why people are most worried about CO2, is that once you put CO2 into that atmosphere, it's going to be around for a long time. And we're going to have this enhanced greenhouse effect happening for a long time, which, that's what people are trying to do, is predict how much temperature change are we going to see because of that. And that's really what people are worried about.